Welcome again to this webinar dedicated to the promotion of AQABA in South Jordan. My name is Nadia Pascual. I'm a tourism marketing and PR professional, and I'm very excited to conduct this webinar because today we have many travel companies joining us from many countries, from France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, Norway, Italy, of course, Switzerland, and Hungary. So welcome, everybody. Today's webinar has been organized by Commerciale Turismo Italia, an Italian company that offers B2B marketing services in the tourism industry, on behalf of CISP within the CrossDev project. We have Deborah Rezzoagli of the CrossDev project with us. She will present the project. So Deborah, I give the speech to you so you can present the project.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for dedicating some of your precious time to our webinar that we are organizing within the project Cultural Routes for Sustainable Social and Economic Development in the Mediterranean Area, funded by the NECBC MED program. My name is Deborah Rezzoagli, and I am the project coordinator on behalf of the NGO CISP, International Committee for the Development of People. Let me share just very few slides for presenting you the project, the CrossDev project. As I was saying, the CrossDev project is funded by the NECBC MED through the NECBC MED program. It is led by my organization, the Italian NGO CISP, and it is implemented in partnership with several partners and associated partners. Our partners are the Società Cooperativa Culture, is an Italian actor responsible for the design and setup of sustainable technological solution for the best promotion of cross-dev less known destination. The Jordan University of Science and Technology, which is responsible for the sustainable tourism development and promotion of the area of Qais in Jordan. The Association for the Protection of Jabal Musa in Lebanon, responsible for the sustainable tourism development and promotion of the Jabal Musa Biosphere Reserve in Lebanon. The Royal Marine Conservation Society of Jordan, they will have their own floor soon after me, so I wouldn't say anything about them. And then the Palestinian Heritage Trail, responsible for the sustainable tourism development in Palestine of the Palestinian Heritage Trail, and the Italian Ministry of Culture, which is responsible for the technical assistance to partners, to all of us, on how to valorize and manage cultural sites and promote sustainable tourism. The project, the CrossDev project, has an overall objective that is contributed to the economic and social development in the Mediterranean region through strengthening and enhancing sustainable tourist practices, emphasizing common heritage and resources in less known tourism destination. Specifically, what we are trying to work on is to increase the attractiveness of less known touristic destination in the Mediterranean area, and trying to diversify the tourism offer with niche territorial assets by developing marketing and other initiatives for the sustainable tourist product. Now, how we are working? We are working in strict collaboration with the cultural roots of the Council of Europe, specifically with the Phoenician roots and Itervitis, and we applied the methodology of the cultural roots of the Council of Europe, in particular the smart ways development. So specific segment in different countries in all the basin area, and of course through a very participatory approach. So all the activities implemented through the CrossDev project has been done together with local communities, together with local authorities and national institutions. So the product that we created are, let's say, community-based tourism and cultural tourism. In particular, the CrossDev promote 5 destinations, one in Italy, that is the ancient Via Selinuntina, the road of the ancient southeastern Sicily, that is connected to the Phoenicians and Itervitis cultural routes. The Jabal Musa Biosphere Reserve, in particular, we developed the Adonis Valley Roman route in Jabal Musa. In Palestine, the Palestinian Heritage Trail in the West Bank. Of course, the ancient AQABA, about which you will listen, hear our colleagues about, and the destination of Qais in Jordan, the historical Roman and Islamic Ottoman city. To conclude, up to now, the project developed 11 different itineraries of community-based cultural, food, wine, adventure, nature, sports, food and wine, sports, and the art itineraries. We mapped 56 attractions. We developed 39 experiences, and we involved 31 cities, small municipalities and villages. We developed and promoted 11 events, 11 tourist itineraries, and 100 and more of tourism services. We, of course, try to work on increasing the attractiveness of the different sites through requalification, cleanup campaigns, and promotion. We developed a platform, the Hidden Mediterranean Net, .net, that we invite you to visit and to surfing, because it mentions about all the activities and all the tourism offers developed through the project. And then we also developed a trailer of CrossDev trailer that you will have the opportunity to watch at the end of our webinar, and different teaser for each destination that you can also watch on a CISP YouTube channel. And of course, actively involved more than 5,000 people in all the countries involved in the project. I thank you very much again for the attention, and I hope you will enjoy the webinar. Thank you very much. Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you, Deborah, for this presentation. Let me just add that 2 travel companies among all the companies that are attending the webinar today will have the opportunity of participating in fun trips organized by CISP within the project. So you have a chance to just visit and discover these destinations for yourself. Just keep following us and stay tuned with the next webinars as well. Today's webinar is dedicated to AQABA, we said, Jordan. You know, it's a well-known seaside resort, but it has much more to offer in terms of food, culture, traditions, handicraft, active tourism, and much more. It's not only about sea and diving, of course. Before I introduce today's speakers, let's watch a 2-minute video to give you an idea of what AQABA has to offer. think everybody wants to go there now. So let me introduce our speakers today. We have our main speaker, Mrs. Thelma Radwan, Head of Tourism Product Development at the AQABA Special Economic Zone Authority. We also have with us today Mrs. Wahed Ajarmeh, Communication Officer of the CrossDev project on behalf of the Royal Marine Conservation Society of Jordan, and Mr. Mohammed Al-Tawahab, Executive Director of JREDS, Royal Marine Conservation Society of Jordan, and Project Manager of the CrossDev project. So I will now let them present our today's destination. And before I do that, let me remind you that you are invited to share questions, comments at any time during the webinar. Just use the chat or use the raise your hand button on the screen, so we will give you the chance to speak up for yourself. Or if you write your questions in the chat, I will ask the speakers to answer on your behalf. So Mrs. Thelma Radwan, it's your turn now, please.
Thank you, Nadia. Hello, everyone. My name is Thelma Radwan. I'm Tourism Product Development at the AQABA Special Economic Zone, AQABA Tourism. I have been working in the tourism field for almost 18 years, and I'm proud to be with you to talk about my beloved city and to give some information that would encourage everyone to consider AQABA as a destination for their holidays, for their friends' holiday, for their customer holidays, and to be an important destination for everyone to visit AQABA and Jordan as well. So before I start, I want to mention that some photos in the presentation were taken by myself, so I'm promoting myself as a good photographer also in this presentation. I hope that everyone hears me very well. Yes?
Yes, we can hear you, Thelma. Actually, since you asked, there is already some questions. Can I share with them with you? Like somebody, Ombretta, is asking if AQABA is suitable for 12-month tourism, like for every season, and if it is recommended also for family tourism.
Yes. Do you want me to answer now or after the presentation?
Yeah, if you can answer now, so.
Okay. AQABA is all year around the destination to visit, but we prefer sometimes to exclude the summertime because it is a little bit hot. But some tourists, they like hot weather. So we cannot say that you have to come in the spring or in the winter or in the summer. So it is all the year around is a good place to visit, but it depends on the favor of the tourist, in which time he would like to come. For example, the water is all the year around, has the same water degree. It is around 23, 22nd in the winter and in the summer. So people in the winter time also they can swim, and in the summertime also they can swim. But we recommend that in the winter, it's a little bit, AQABA is warm city in Jordan, and plus in the summertime it is a little bit hot. In spring and autumn time the weather is perfect. Let's say in April and October, the weather starts to be nice and a little less hot than August, July, and September.
Okay.
So the second question, is it a family destination? Yes, it is a family destination. If you have your kids, they can enjoy many activity inside AQABA and the surrounding areas. So yes, it is a family destination.
Okay, thank you, Selma. You can go on with your presentation.
So, this is one of my favorite photos for AQABA. I always like to have my photos within the flag. It means a lot to me as a sample of AQABA. So I'm going to talk why AQABA is a destination for tourists to visit. Okay, we have many attractions in AQABA. We have a beautiful landscape. AQABA is a living city. If you visit AQABA, you will find locals surrounding every place. Most of the locals can be around the tourists, helping them, inviting them to have the services that they provide. So we have a harbor fishing marina. We have 27 kilometers of the sea. 7 of them is a protected area. And also we have a nice area for walking. So AQABA has a wealth of historical attributes. Like we have Islamic Isla, one of the oldest Islamic cities in the world. We have early Mamluk fort, and we have the century Roman church, one of the oldest ruins church in the world as well. So AQABA is a rich of such archaeological well-known sites. Plus, AQABA has a dramatic landscape. The landscape of AQABA is really beautiful. And as I said, that we have 27 kilometers shore marine of the sea, and we have plus all the year around temperature, moderate temperature, and we don't have humidity. And also we have spectacular sunset and nice water as well.
Selma, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sure. Yeah.
What's the weather like right now in AQABA?
It is around 28 degrees. It is a little bit very nice for walking or cycling because it is not hot. Colors with the sea, I mean the clouds, sometimes it's cloudy, sometimes it's sunny at the same time. So at the end, after 4 o'clock, it starts to be chilly, and you can go for walking, you can enjoy, you know, it has really a nice flavor of this month, autumn time in November.
Yeah, I'd say a perfect temperature. So
yeah, it is.
Must
yes,
be lovely. Thank you very much.
Now before I came to the presentation, we had the celebration of finish line at for Jordan Trail. So as you know, Jordan Trail, they start from on ice, they walk for almost 400 kilometers hiking, and the ending point is AQABA. So we were having some ceremony for the hikers, the through hikers, and we had a very nice event with our traditional folkloric band, plus a nice ceremony for everyone. So I missed the ceremony to be with you for the presentation, which is really I do appreciate.
Okay.
Okay, there are a lot of incentive, attractive corporate environment to attract investors, to attract tourists. to attract people to invest in AQABA. But I'm going to highlight the last point, which is a free visa to Jordan through AQABA, regardless length of stay. So this point is really important for all tour operators to know that when the tourists come, for example, for you, Nadia, or anyone, if you come direct to AQABA, you don't have to pay the visa because it's a previous destination. While if you go to Amman and you want to stay like 3 days in Amman, you need to pay around 50 JD or 40 euros, something like this, 50 JD. So AQABA is a free visa for tourists as well. Okay, this is the map of AQABA. There are a lot of attractions, but I wanted to highlight in this presentation that the blue arrow on the map, it shows the direction of walking tour. So you might need a car, but also AQABA is a very easy, beautiful city for walking. So you can have your sightseeing, walking tour, starting from where you are in the city center till the Great Arab Revolt Plaza to Islamic. You can pass by the Hafayr area, and you can go to the castle. You can see Islamic island. So it is a combination of attraction. You can discover AQABA on feet. So for the Cross Day project, they were really keen to focus on the historical and let's say unknown product like AQABA Castle and also Islamic Isla. Islamic Isla, as I have mentioned, that it is one of the oldest cities in the world, and okay, and also the church, the ruins of the early 4th century church. So these can be discovered, as I mentioned, by walking. Okay, the main highlight of AQABA is scuba diving. We have a very, very, very beautiful marine life in AQABA, and because it is the only marine city in Jordan, and it is on the Red Sea, and as you know that the Red Sea is full of very variety of corals, species, and AQABA is also very famous now with wrecks. So we promote AQABA as a wreck diving destination because we have wrecks since 1985. The shipwreck that were scuttled in the Gulf of AQABA. We have C-130, we have many kinds of wrecks. So scuba diving is the highlight attraction for divers. They like to come and spend 5 days for diving sometimes. Then they can do other activity like diving by day, Bedouin by night. But as I said, that AQABA is also a place where they can also have their open water certification. It is a suitable place, and the water is so pure, and the degree, as I have mentioned, it is around 23 degrees. So you can, even in the winter time, you can dive as well. So,
Thelma, sorry
yes,
to interrupt you. There are more questions coming. They're asking how many daylight hours do you have now in AQABA at this time of the year?
How many?
Daylight hours.
Daylight?
Yeah, at what time?
At 6, it starts to become dark. 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Oh, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
So,
great.
around 12 hours. 11
hours of daylight.
11.
Okay,
11.
great.
11.
And
Yes.
how do you get to AQABA from Europe? Like, is there an airport in AQABA, or do you have to fly?
Yes, this is in my next presentation. In my next slide.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's wait to see the presentation. Go on. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the experiences. We have very nice experiences, especially for the local community. We look forward to engage the local community in tourism in different angles, in food, in music, handicraft as well. The sand bottle, filling the sand bottle, you can find it in all Jordan, but AQABA is the source, and the history starts from AQABA for this handicraft. Plus the food, we have a variety of activity where local community can teach tourists how to make bread, how to make the local dish of AQABA, and to engage more tourists and local in the tourism product in general. For the music, usually we have our folklore band. We have our traditional instrument, which is called simsimiya, as you have seen in the video. We always like to present them in the receiving. If we have a group of tourists coming on the first charter flight or the first flight to AQABA, usually they are our symbols of celebration in order to revive the traditional music and folklore of AQABA. Okay, these are one of the experiences that usually we like to for tourists. Plus, we have the food. As you know, the food is really one of the identity that reflect the destination. When we have a group of tourists, we like to engage the community to teach them the desert cuisine, all the meals, the things that can be done handmade, like olives, pickles, bread, everything. So it is not only food, it is kind of communication with tourists, how to teach them about the culture, everything, the family, the tradition. So it is a combination of culture experiences. And also, even we have the 5-star hotels, 5-star resorts, they like to include such a program to engage in, okay, the tourists come to stay in the hotel, but it would be really nice to have an experience of cooking or food, and they have the chance to learn about what we have in terms of gastronomy and food in AQABA. So, okay. And other activity, like we have some association where we invite tourists to experience, to have henna, to know more about the handicraft, where they can also make a handicraft by themselves, and they can see what things can be done by women and by the local community. There are a lot of experiences if I want to mention, so I will need just more 2 hours to say and to tell what we have in AQABA, but these are such examples of what we have. Okay, for the hotel categories, we have different, we have all the categories actually. We have the 5-star, we have the high-end brand, we have Hyatt Regency, Marriott, Intercontinental, Kempinski. We're looking to have more, but the tourist can, or the tour operator can sell different category of rooms, even the 3-star, the 4-star in AQABA. They have a quality service, and we have the green key for some hotels, which reflect the sustainability and the saving energy. It is a quality label in Europe, worldwide, and AQABA is lucky to AQABA even as a tourism city, is a pioneer to implement this international quality label, the green key and the blue flag in our hotel.
Thelma, can I
Yes.
ask you a question? Because Julie of Travitude was asking about eco lodges, if there are any accommodation with a low impact on environment, eco lodges, and or guest houses managed by local.
We have guest houses on the South Beach. We have like we call it what you call it, Muhammad, like small villages, which accommodate good number of tourists, but they are not high expensive, and they don't have this high end of technology, and they are close to the sea. Actually, they are mainly for divers who wants to spend more time to dive and to be close to the diving site. For the diving site, actually, I forgot that we have around 20 dive sites in AQABA, including artificial and natural one. So yes, we have kind of small, let's say not hostel, but they can be like small categories for accommodation.
Okay, great. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so I will explain the accessibility to AQABA. As you know, in Jordan, we have only 2 airports, King Hussein International Airport in AQABA, and we have Amman, in Amman, Queen Alia International Airport. Some tourists, they like to come from Saudi borders. They can come by land. Some tourists, they like to come from Egypt. They can come from Nuweiba or Taba. And from Palestine, they can come by land as well. And from Amman, we have 2 highways. We call it Desert Highway and Dead Sea Highway. So there are a lot of tourists who always arrive to Amman, they rent a car and they drive all the way to AQABA. During their trip, they stop, for example, in the Dead Sea, they stop in Shobak, they stop in different cities in AQABA, in Jordan, and they visit Petra, Wadi Rum, they end in AQABA and they go to Amman again. So it is an option.
Yes. Sorry, how long does it take to drive?
4 hours.
4 hours from Amman to AQABA?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So these are the accessibility to AQABA from the borders of the surrounding neighborhood. Now we are lucky to have the connectivity by air for the low cost. We have, but I want to mention that it is seasonable. It starts from October, at the end of October, already it started, till March, almost end of March. So we have destination, Ryanair, EasyJet, and Wizz Air. Wizz Air, we have now 4 destination, but in the future we will have all the destination as were displayed. We have EasyJet from London, Manchester, Berlin, Geneva, Milan, and from Ryanair we have Milan, Sofia, Athens, and Rome, and Cologne, Germany. So these are with a good price for flight ticket, hopefully, but it's increasing nowadays. Anyway, but at least the connectivity, you don't have to fly to Amman, then to AQABA, so you can reach AQABA through the low cost. And some we have charter flights from different cities in Europe, like Poland, Slovenia, sometimes Hungary. Depends on the tour operator. As you know, the charter flight is operated always by domestic and international tour operator. And now also we have a main carrier We have the Royal Jordanian and we have the Turkish airline. The Turkish airline, as you know, they fly from all over the world to Istanbul, and from Istanbul, the hub, to AQABA. And we have the Royal Jordanian, and the Royal Jordanian, they have most of the destination are connected to AQABA. For example, if you come from Rome to Amman, you can have your next transit flight to AQABA, from Amman to AQABA. So you can have, for example, Rome, Amman, AQABA, and the way back you can have AQABA, Amman, Rome, or for example, Frankfurt, Amman, AQABA, AQABA, Frankfurt, Amman. So most of the Royal Jordanian, they're trying to connect AQABA with the flight ticket. And you know what is interesting is sometimes when you add the section of AQABA, for example, you're flying to AQABA, the ticket price, sometimes it can be cheaper than to land in Amman. This is what, I knew recently. Okay, so these are for the accessibility, for the experiences, for the itinerary, for the archaeological side. There are a lot to mention about AQABA, and really important. As you see from our logo, we promote AQABA as a Red Sea, and we promote Wadi Rum as a Red Desert, and we promote Petra as a Rose City. AQABA is close to Wadi Rum. It is around 45 minutes to Wadi Rum, and to Petra it is 1 hour and a half. So it is close, and we call it the Golden Triangle. Plus, if you start your trip from AQABA, you can cover the south. If you started from your trip in Amman, you can cover the north, Jarash and Qais, beautiful cities as well. But AQABA is the most beautiful city in Jordan. Muhammad will kill me. No. Anyway, so yes, I'm done with this. This is my business card. If you have any inquiries, any question, I'll be with you.
Thank you, Thelma. Very exhaustive presentation. Thank you very much. There are some more questions. Yes. For you and your colleagues. Guillaume is asking if it is possible to visit a lab for 1 day when staying in AQABA.
Yes, they can. They can. Yeah, it is easy. They can go by land. They pay only the departure tax.
Okay.
There is a 10 JD departure tax. They can come from Eilat to AQABA, and they come from AQABA to Eilat. There is no, since they have a European passport, or American, or British, or another passport. Yeah.
Okay. Johan is asking about waste management plans in AQABA, because he experienced some garbage on public beaches, so he's concerned about that.
Okay, for the public beaches, we as a government, we are in cooperation with all institutions in AQABA and diving centers as well. And we have AQABA Diving Association, we have the Royal Marine Society, JERET. We do have always a cleanup campaign. We have also a cleaning company who take care of the waste, the garbage. We're trying our best to have the beach clean as much as we can. We have the environment police. This problem, actually, it is everywhere, but in AQABA, we are pushing on a royal level. Our king always give this as a priority, because he's a diver. So every time he dives and he finds any waste or garbage, so we have emergency. But anyway, all the organizations are together for avoiding any trash or, but you know, this is a sea, so waste can come from another countries as well.
Thank you, Thelma. Mohammed would like to add something about this issue.
Okay, thank you, Nadia. And I already saw the Johan messages related to the waste. As you say, some media mentioned for the garbage. Yes, we have some problem related to bad behavior for the people, but this is not normal. Anyway, ACISA and the government, the Ministry of Environment, they develop national action plan, and they develop a special law for the waste. As my colleague Selma mentioned, 80% of garbage becomes from the land. This is as international studies. Now we have also the private company. They have the responsibility to collect and transport the waste from AQABA. But anyway, sometimes the media enlarge the cases and the picture. Just focus on the bad picture, not focus in the beauty of AQABA. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed and Thelma. The question is being handled. So there's another question from Julie. She asked if you can visit Jordan during Ramadan, or if it is better not to visit during Ramadan for like problems related to shops and locations closed during the day.
For Ramadan, actually, Ramadan is a very beautiful month, even for tourists. They can live with us the tradition, the spirit of Ramadan, the timing of iftar. It is the only thing that Muslim people are not allowed to eat in the street or any. It is they should respect the tradition and the rules of the religion. It is not allowed for me, for example, if I'm not fasting, I'm not allowed to eat in front of people. This is why they have some restriction on the restaurants not to serve meals in public. And the other thing is not to serve alcohol and also in restaurants. But otherwise, the timing in Ramadan is beautiful. They can feel when we come to Europe in the Christmas, we like to feel the atmosphere of Christmas. It is the same time, even in Ramadan. It is really beautiful.
So businesses are working and you can visit
and they can have variety of food. We have in Ramadan a lot of, dessert food. They can have nice iftar in the restaurants and even in hotels buffet. Yeah. So
yeah, it's a special occasion to discover. There are more questions about facilities or opportunities for people with reduced mobility or with other kinds of disabilities. If AQABA is suitable for people with disabilities.
We are nowadays working on the accessible tourism as one of the important elements to encourage travelers with disabilities. Somehow it is suitable. Comparing with Europe, it might be not, but at least they can manage, and also they can get the support of other helpers in case something is not like roads and. In AQABA and in Jordan in general, they can find the support everywhere from people in the streets, everywhere for disabilities. And for diving, also we have some expert instructors for people with disabilities. They can help them to dive. So we are trying to have the good infrastructure as a government actually, and the trend now is pushing to have this applied in AQABA and in Jordan as well.
Great. Another question is about places that you recommend should be visited with a local guide. Are there any places it is better to visit with a local guide?
It depends on some people, they like to, for information, if you want to have a guide to have more information, someone who can combine, combine with the tour. If they want to have more information with someone expert, it would be nice. But it depends for the reason of why they want to have a local guide. For example, the accessibility of the places, or they don't want to be alone, or they want to have more information.
Okay.
For example, Petra, it needs a local guide, or AQABA, it can be both by a local guide or guided by yourself, because it is small and you can read. But if you want to know more about the destination and the products and the history and the tradition, of course,
Sure.
you need,
Okay, you can go by yourself, but of course,
yes,
it is better to have a local guide to get more information and
exactly, it is for
contact with the locals as well.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, Thelma. Enrico is asking, how many days do you suggest staying in AQABA?
Let's say AQABA needs 3 to 4 days. AQABA as a city, 1 day in Wadi Rum, 1 day in Petra. So the total is from 5 to 6 days if you want to stay in AQABA, Wadi Rum, and Petra. Wadi Rum, you need to stay overnight. Some people, they like to stay overnight in Petra as well, to see Petra by night. But for AQABA, 4 days would be nice to average 4 days length of stay.
Okay, and another
Some people,
question.
they like to stay 2 days in Wadi Rum. They want to do more activity.
Okay.
So they stay 2 days in Wadi Rum.
Some
people, they go 1 day to Petra and they go back to AQABA. Some, they stay overnight. It depends on the favor and what they're looking for.
Sure, of course. And are there any combined tours to AQABA and Petra, like including both?
Including
AQABA and Petra.
Most of the tour operator, they sell the whole trip together. AQABA, Wadi Rum, and Petra. It can be arranged by tour operator, and it can be arranged by the tourist himself if he wants to rent a car or he wants to get a taxi, or it can be applied both ways.
Okay, and another question from Julie is about self-driving in Jordan with a rental car, because she heard that maybe it's not recommended because of road signs in Arabic. It may not be easy to drive yourself through Jordan, or what is your suggestion?
Actually, this is the first time actually I hear I was wondering if it's possible to driving in AQABA or from Amman to
in
AQABA.
Jordan, in general, in Jordan.
In Jordan, most of the tourists, they like to rent a car. It is it is safe and easy because we have 2 highways and they are straight. There is no up and down, and so and there is a sign how many kilometers, and there's a sign because this is an international standard to have the signs English and Arabic as well. So my experience all this year, not even people, they recommend to rent a car because it might be cheaper for them if they are a family of 4 people. For example, It is cheaper for them to have a car altogether than to have a bus ticket.
Sure.
Or a
Okay.
flight ticket.
So,
Yeah.
thank you.
So Julia, if you can text me, this is my email. I can help you.
Okay, go
with
more
more information.
into
Yeah.
detail.
Everyone available to.
Great. Of course, you're sharing your contacts, and
Yes.
the travel companies are welcome to contact you, and you will provide more information for every question. What else? I can't see any more questions. Okay, somebody's asking about visas. Do you need a visa to get to Jordan from most European countries?
No, to AQABA, no. Free visa, but to Amman, if they want to stay a couple of days in Amman, they have to pay the visa. If, for example, I'm telling this to our guest who is coming, and I'm responsible about what I'm saying. If you come, you have your connected flight to AQABA and you have your boarding to AQABA, you don't have to pay the visa. You just show the police guy saying them I'm traveling to AQABA, and they stamp travel stamp, AQABA zone stamp, and they don't pay the visa if they are continuing direct to AQABA.
Okay.
You get my point.
Okay, but if you want to go to Eilat from AQABA, then you need a visa, right?
No.
No? Okay.
No visa.
No visa required.
But there is a departure tax only.
Only the departure tax.
Yeah.
Great. We have with us today the Italian representative of the tourism board of Jordan, Marco Biazzetti, who's attending the webinar with us. So I would like to ask him a question as well, if he's available to answer. Marco, if you can hear us, I have a question for you. Since you know the Italian market best, of course, but it may be also for other European countries as well. I would like to ask if there are requests for AQABA specifically, or if like most requests come from visitors to just discover Jordan in general, or what kind of tours, what are the main areas that tourists want to visit, from tourists from Italy or from European countries in general?
Okay. Good day, everybody. I'm Marco Biazzetti of Jordan Tourist Board in Italy, and regarding the request of AQABA, AQABA is requested as at the term of the holiday in Jordan. It's not specific. There is not a specific request of AQABA. Only from individuals, but these people used to visit, stay in AQABA, but visit Wadi Rum and Petra, the Golden Triangle mentioned by the lady of the Aziza. But as Jordan Tourism Board, we are now pushing a lot to increase the overnights in AQABA. And for example, today, one of the most important tour operator for golfers, a Centro, based in Milan, is terminating his site inspection in AQABA in order to start the programming of golf packages in AQABA, because in Aila Resort there is an 18 holes green golf course, and we want to sell. We want to sell and promote this golf course, in addition to the beauty of the landmarks of the south of Jordan, because I mean, only the golf cannot, stay alone. So together with the Centro, we want to push, golf in AQABA, diving as well, and Wadi Rum and Petra. This will be the package.
Mhm.
And this tour operator is the number one in Italy for golfers, and the second one in Europe. In any case, I know most of the tour operator programs, and I don't see AQABA as standalone destination, but combined with the other beauties of Jordan. I mean, after a bunch of culture and archaeology and history, people want to stay on the shore for some days and relax. And AQABA is a perfect place to do it. But most of people confuse Red Sea, I don't know, Sharm el-Sheikh, and or now Saudi Arabia with AQABA. No, AQABA is a particular destination, and having a city is not in the desert. Having a city, having a culture, and having an historical, how do you say, sites.
Mhm.
And so it's not only a beach resort, but also an historical port and historical sites. And it's also the advantage of AQABA is to be very close to the marvelous Petra and to the Mars on Earth Wadi Rum. So
Okay.
I mean, in any case, the Jordan Tourist Board is ready to promote AQABA also in the coming years.
Thank you very much, Marco. There's a question, I don't know who's answering that one. Enrico is asking, how big is AQABA? Maybe how many people live there and things like that.
You think population, something?
AQABA, yes.
It's like 30,000 people living.
30,000. So
No,
No, more. I don't know.
no. AQABA, it has around
100,000. 100,000.
Oh, 160,000.
160,000. Sorry.
okay, so quite a big city to visit, and a lot of
It's the third city of Jordan, I think, in terms of inhabitants.
great. And it has much more than the sea and diving to offer. So this is clear from your presentations today. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to our speakers.
Actually, yeah, Nadia, allow me.
Sure.
There are a lot of things that I skipped to talk about AQABA as a niche market as well. For example, Wadi Rum itself, it has so many activities that can be done for 2 days: culture, adventure, hiking, stargazing. There are a lot of activity. I don't want any. I thought that I have to be very
Sure.
Sure, but there are a lot of maybe if we like to organize another meeting, we can share more ideas and activities. But we have also in AQABA the bird watching. We have a bird watching unit in AQABA Observatory, and we have at Ayla something called the Feather Trail.
Okay.
Where you
I
have,
can't hear. Okay.
yeah. And we have one of the most golf courses, the most beautiful and biggest golf courses in the MENA region. So golfing, bird watching, diving, we have niche activity that can be found only in AQABA, plus the activity in Wadi Rum. And also we have in the coming development, tourism product development, Wadi AREA. Wadi AREA, it is another desert side of the Dead Sea Highway, and it is beautiful. It has an amazing biodiversity of the landscape and historical, but it is still virgin. and we are working on it. So in the coming years, it will be a very well-known destination. Plus, now we have the buggies, the car, the safari car, the ATV cars in Wadi Araba, where you can explore also the beautiful places there. So these are in the coming projects, and there are a lot to say about tourism in Aqaba, what they can do, where they can do, but we can't have 2 hours of webinar. Anyway, anyone who has any question, my business card is available. I'm ready to provide all the answers. Hopefully they are happy of what we have mentioned and of the small presentation, but I'm sure I can share with them Aqaba guide in different languages. We have Aqaba guide in 8 languages. They can read, they can know about destination, and this guide is also under modification to add the new information to the modification, yeah. So I can send everyone the language that they speak, French, German, Italian, any, I'm ready.
Okay, thank you, Thelma. I'm sure they will contact you. And I also invite them to visit the web platform hiddenmediterranean.net, because they can find information about activities, facilities, local tour operators, and local tourism facilities. And of course, the website of the Jordan Tourism Board as well, which mentions plenty of businesses and activities and information. So thank you again to our speakers from Jordan. And thank you to all travel companies attending the webinar. So I hope you have you are among the winners for the fun trip and will visit Aqaba. Stay tuned and see you during the next webinars. We will have another one on November 30 about the Palestinian Heritage Trail in Palestine. And we will have one on the 1st of December about the Jabal Musa Biosphere Reserve in Lebanon. So 2 more webinars to come, both at 12 p.m. So no more 1:30 p.m., but they will be at 12 p.m. So thank you again and see you soon, everybody. Bye-bye.
I was once the known world. I harbored the life of man, from the borders of the eastern kingdoms to the last Spanish land. Every coast I touch is a story, and the stories I sing belong to you. I am the guardian of rich trade and ancient traditions. I am the guide of the first travelers, the cradle of empires and knowledge. I am the muse. I have inspired mythologies and religions, united people in fruitful exchange. I preserve the rituals of dancers, the legends of fishermen, the folklore of musicians. I am witness to the greatest love stories, and when a feeling is born on my waves, it spreads throughout time. I am the secrets. I have fostered the desire to explore for millennia, and still today the path is the same. No need to introduce me. You know me well. You have already traveled my routes. But believe me, there is still much to discover along the lands I brush past. I am the sense. I am the smile of the guardian and the aroma of the bread. You find me from Beit Mirsim to Batir, along the wonders of the Palestinian Heritage Trail. I am the hospitality that dwells on the Via Selinuntina, in the sharp scent of cinnamon and the sweet fragrance of the vineyard. My winds graze the Yarmouk Reserve and the paths of the Jabal Musa Biosphere, where the mountains still retain my scent. I am history. I am am the Roman theater in the heart of Jordan and the Arab quarter in Sicily. I am the union and the bond. I am Qais and I am Sambuca. I protect the memory of man in the archaeology of Selinunte, in the castles and in the port of AQABA, where my kingdom meets that of other seas. I am the journey. I am the primal emotion, the perfect need. I am the means to find, but without seeking. I am the corner of the world where the sun and the moon converge. I am the heritage of man and the pattern of freedom. I am one immense place, and I am many stories. I will also be yours. I am the Mediterranean.